You could feel the shift in the studio almost instantly, a heavy, unscripted stillness that usually has no place on high-energy morning television. For years, viewers have tuned in expecting crisp headlines, fast-paced debates, and that reassuring, easygoing warmth Ben Shephard has brought into millions of living rooms for over 2 decades. But when he finally broke his silence on his own hidden health and emotional struggles, the atmosphere in the room completely changed. It wasn't just another celebrity talking head delivering a rehearsed soundbite. There was an unmistakable crack in the polish, a momentary pause where the consummate professional stepped aside, leaving behind a human being who was visibly carrying more weight than anyone watching at home could have ever guessed. To understand why that confession resonated so deeply across the country, you have to appreciate who Ben Shephard is in the fabric of British broadcasting. He has always been regarded as the ultimate safe pair of hands, the unflappable anchor, the perpetually cheerful presenter who glides through live television mishaps with an effortless smile. Whether holding down early shifts on GMTV, navigating high-stakes debates on Good Morning Britain, or steering daytime staples, he built an image of indestructible resilience. Viewers view him almost as part of the furniture, a reliable constant in an increasingly turbulent world. So when someone who represents stability suddenly admits that behind the scenes he was quietly unraveling under physical strain, mental fatigue, and emotional burnout, it shakes the audience's entire perception of breakfast television. When you look closely at what he shared, it becomes clear that this wasn't a sudden, isolated crisis, but rather a slow, grinding accumulation of pressure that many working people know all too well. Between demanding broadcast schedules, recovering from severe physical injuries, and the relentless pressure to stay on for the cameras every single morning, the toll was inevitably taking its piece. He spoke with a level of candor that felt almost shocking for a morning presenter, admitting that there were moments where putting on that signature smile felt like an exhausting physical act. Many viewers noticed how he didn't try to sugarcoat the reality or wrap it up in neat motivational quotes. He simply owned the struggle, laying bare the physical and emotional cost of keeping the machinery running when your body and mind are desperately screaming for a pause. What made the television moment so compelling was the raw, unscripted body language inside the studio. As he spoke, you could see his co-presenters shift from their standard professional posture into a quiet, protective stillness. The usual rapid-fire banter melted away, replaced by deep eye contact, soft nods, and a palpable sense of shared empathy. There was a brief, pregnant pause, the kind of silence that usually panics producers in the gallery, where nobody rushed to fill the airwaves. It almost felt as though the entire production team recognized the gravity of what was happening. In an industry built on strict rundowns and commercial breaks, allowing that moment to breathe proved just how profound his openness truly was. Beyond the studio walls, his admission struck a massive cultural nerve regarding male mental health in Britain. For generations, men, particularly those in high-profile, traditionally masculine or stoic public roles, have been conditioned to push through pain, bury exhaustion, and maintain an ironclad facade. When a figure like Ben Shephard, someone viewed as a grounded, approachable bloke's bloke, steps forward to say, "I wasn't okay, and I needed help," it shatters a stubborn, outdated taboo. It granted permission for male viewers across the country to recognize their own quiet battles. Social media exploded almost immediately, not with gossip, but with a groundswell of genuine respect, gratitude, and shared vulnerability from people who recognized their own exhaustion in his eyes. Looking back at that broadcast, it exposes the fascinating illusion of modern media. We sit in our kitchens with a cup of tea, watching presenters who look infallible under the studio lights, forgetting that they inhabit the exact same fragile human condition as the rest of us. The early alarm calls, the emotional weight of covering heavy national news daily, and the personal family struggles happening off-camera don't magically vanish when the red cue light turns on. Some television analysts believe this moment represents a broader, healthier shift in how live television operates, moving away from artificial perfection toward a culture where presenters are allowed to be authentically vulnerable without risking their professional standing. It's hard to say for certain how this openness will shape his journey moving forward, but it has undoubtedly deepened his connection with the viewing public. Audiences don't want flawless robots anymore. They want authenticity, empathy, and truth. By opening up about his emotional health struggles, Ben transformed a routine television segment into a powerful, memorable cultural touchpoint. It served as a stark reminder that empathy should always extend behind the camera lens, and that even the strongest among us need a moment to rest, recover, and breathe. Maybe what stayed with viewers wasn't just the shock of hearing him speak so openly, but the profound relief of knowing that even the people we rely on for comfort are human too. It leaves you wondering how many other familiar faces on our screens are quietly carrying burdens we know nothing about. What was your reaction when you watched him open up? Did his honesty change the way you view the pressures of live television, or did it make you respect him even more as an anchor? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read your perspective on this moment.